is why did Hunter name Andy?
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Out
All
of
right.
all of the dealers and stuff Candace and them had,
Uh-huh.
Andy was low tier, at least to my knowledge, at that time. Now looking back, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I'm like, you know, and I could have,
I don't know.
been oblivious. But the thing is that H, I know for facts, Andrew would have known the bigger ones that Candace and them actually messed with. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
And so I wondered if CM, because there was enough publicly out by that point, Candace and Dawn were giving everybody's business away behind the scenes, Monsters Mom, there's enough pulled from the community by that point, that
Yeah.
interview. So it's like, did CM tell him to say that name? Did Allie tell him to say that name? Who told him to say it? I just feel like, but remember, Candace had done her 2 visits to H by that point, and then he sort of shakingly goes, yeah, when he was doing the bravado thing, he was like, yeah, I told her I ain't afraid of you. So I wondered if she intimidated him and made him say it, because it seemed like H was aiming for Dobbs and Monster. With the story about some touchy-feely guy camping out, which I know Sandy lied to even others around them and their teams about and misled for months. It was a lie. Dobbs never camped there, and definitely not on their properties. But if that is true from the day before and that call, that's weird. That would mean they're all targeting the same thing. It's very strange to me, Andrew.
Yeah. Now, understandable, Andy is your ex, correct?
Yeah.
I understand that. Yeah, trust. I had plenty of those when my exes are brought up too.
Almost 30 years of Satan.
Now,
anyway,
my question is, would you have had access to his contact list to clarify on whether or not that part of what Hunter said is true or false?
Yeah, which part?
The getting a hold of Candace and him seeing the messages between, I guess.
Oh, now I know the I'm done text existed because I flipped the fuck out about it when, sorry, I know how they feel about that. I flipped out about it when it was sent, and it was sent by accident, and it really was halfway like he had put it's whatever, right? And it started to write the thing out, the cursor's still going or whatever. And then when he did something, it like put it like word field, and I guess, and then sent it. But it was days after Summer vanished, right?
Okay.
And I was like, holy shit. I was like, really? And if the dummy hadn't supposedly allegedly destroyed that phone, which I don't think so because of certain things, but either way, I left him the proof to show all of that. And when it was sent, not because when I sent, I was like, holy crap. And he's like, it ain't no big deal. And I was like, it is, dude. The FBI is right down there. And here's a text to Candace. And they had been terrorizing Andy for days after Summer vanished. Like, for green. And I was like, what the, And then in his reply, I think that's what it was. Like they were terrorizing him. He started a reply, but I don't know. But it was just like a leftover message there. And then it auto-filled and sent. But I took screenshots of it, screenshots of the timestamp, all that stuff, the data in it, and everything so that if feds ever needed it, it would be there. And I'm pretty sure that I took pictures with my own phone of that exact message, but it wouldn't be weird that there'd be built up messages in between. No.
So my question is what would the meaning be behind said text that was discussed?
The it's done?
Yeah. What would be the meaning behind that?
I think the initial text was like before Summer vanished, he had started to say it's in the mailbox or it's whatever, right?
Yeah.
Because it was only it's and then part of a word and then like laying there and then it like auto-filled the rest and sent with whatever the doofus was doing, right?
Yeah.
And which I think was starting to reply back to see because they were really terrorizing him after Summer vanished. We all kind of knew it. You stupid. But yeah, that's all it was. I took it as a very innocent thing at first. I'd still like to hope it is, obviously. But in those days, he was in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
All those days, 24 hours, other than going out, pretending he's doing errands and being a good and taking down some of the stress, but he's actually going to bang stall pump and stuff. But you know, you got to think car at that time had GPS. Even his hidden cell phones had, you know, trackers. You know, there've been, and the FBI and all them were in there during that period that message is sent. You know what I mean? They would have, and I know they had eyes in and on everybody and all things. So there's really, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It um, either way, I was just wondering why H, because even still, I just don't understand why.
I don't either.
I mean, it could be just that he read it, right? Like,
Yeah,
just like,
it could be the last thing he read
Right.
from her phone.
But here's the thing, Andrew. I think he read it, but I think Candace let him. They were all
Yeah.
sitting down at the table, hanging out. I don't buy the story if he got to her phone. I just think that
he said it
it's
was when
weird.
they, right?
Yeah, he said when they were out and about, but
Yeah, wasn't that
No, on Chris's interview, he says, and I mistook it for the longest time that he meant he walked to Candace's vehicle when she pulled up to, you know, be like, "What'd you tell the feds? I failed the polygraph," right?
yeah.